It's been another jarring week in the unfolding case of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was found dead in musician David's abandoned Tesla this month. Just yesterday, officials released her death certificate, and while the document finally answers one of the most whispered about questions, confirming Celeste was not pregnant, it leaves the biggest mystery unresolved. Still, her cause and manner of death are still listed as deferred. Investigators say it could take months before toxicology results are back and a clear determination is made. And that delay has only deepened the sense of uncertainty surrounding this already complicated timeline. Celeste's disappearance seems straightforward at first. A young girl reported missing from her family's Lake Elsinore home on April 5th, 2024, when she was just 13 years old. Flyers went up, family members canvassed the area, and online communities rallied. But a new set of videos that surfaced recently have shattered the narrative anyone thought that they knew. These clips show Celeste back at home on at least 2 separate occasions long after the date she was supposedly missing. One of the videos places her at a family function on June 2nd, 2024. She appears relaxed and present among relatives. And another far more dramatic clip captured on a neighbor's Nest camera shows her outside her family's home at night on September 8th, 2024. We'll get back to that date, September 8th, 2024. Again, the day after her 14th birthday. And in the grainy footage, a family sits outside listening to music. Celeste storms up, accusing one of the children of doorbell ditching her parents' house. The confrontation escalates quickly, with swearing and even what sounds like a racial slur mixed into the tirade. Take a listen.
All the way at the end?
Right there. I'll tell you where that. See that door right there? Number 2, not on it. Number 2 right there.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk?
I ain't gonna let you talk.
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
Why is she over here? Again.
Your little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talk to.
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. Shut up. You talking like you black, girl, with your black talking. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody black right here. What are you talking about? I said we're not black over here. Why you keep calling us? You keep saying we're not black. Let it go. Go back to your house. Go back to your house. You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. What you gonna do? You ain't no gangster. You ain't nothing, homie. What you are? What you are but a little girl? What you but a little girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You need to go home. Seriously.
I'm not Mexican. Salvador, and you just tripping.
Oh my god.
Not because you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl. Go over there, little girl. You ain't gonna do shit. Go. Go. What are you gonna do, bro?
Go call her dad.
Well, neighbors later told TMZ they recognized Celeste immediately. Her face had been on the missing person posters her family had plastered all over the neighborhood. And one neighbor's boyfriend even went to her house to apologize after the confrontation. Celeste's father answers the door, but seemed unfazed, brushing off the whole incident. And those same neighbors say that after seeing her at home, they assumed she was no longer missing and that everything was fine. The date, though, back at that date of that video is chillingly significant. Again, September 8th, 2024, a day after her 14th birthday. The night of the confrontation marks exactly 1 year before authorities opened that front truck of that Tesla impounded from the Hollywood Hills and found Celeste's decomposed remains inside. 1 year later. And as we know, that car belonged to the rising singer David Anthony Burke, known to fans simply as David. The discovery instantly turned an already sad story into a media circus, sparking speculation and outrage across social media. This new footage defies the timeline investigators had established. Celeste was listed as missing in April of 2024, yet here she is on camera months later in September, fiery and vocal outside her own home a day after turning 14. And then precisely 1 year later, she's found dead inside a Tesla miles away. And not just any Tesla, the Tesla of singer David. This video has forced detectives as well as online sleuths to reevaluate what really happened during those missing months, the months that Celeste was allegedly missing, where she was living at that time, who she was with, and why her family reported her gone while she was apparently still around, or at least coming back occasionally. We don't know how long she was home when we see her on the nest. Adding to the complexity are accounts from people who knew Celeste personally. Her brother Matthew has stated that the family knew she was seeing David, the same David who is now at the center of this investigation. And Damien Hernandez, a 15-year-old who says that he once dated Celeste, has also come forward. Damien allegedly met Celeste when she was in 7th grade, and he was in 8th at their middle school. He describes her as kind, but unhappy at home. According to Damien, Celeste confided that her mother didn't treat her well and sometimes joked at school about running away. And then one day, she simply disappeared. Damien says he had heard about Celeste's relationship with David, but was surprised when he learned about her tragic ending. He had thought that perhaps she had finally found some happiness outside of her troubled home life. But when news of her body being discovered at the Tesla broke, Damien says he was shocked, saddened, and left with regret. He said, quote, like, no one cared. I don't know. I should have done something, end quote. His words capture the guilt and helplessness so many feel when a young person slips through the cracks. We all wonder what could have been done. Take a listen.
How did you meet Celeste?
Through a friend.
Tell me how that whole relationship started.
I guess she liked me, or she was looking for someone, and yeah, we started talking.
And what school was this in?
Lakeland Village.
Was she sweet? Was she kind? Was she bubbly? What do you remember about her?
She was really kind, and she said she wanted something serious.
And how old were you when you met her?
13 or 14.
So at what point did you feel, or did you hear from Celeste that there were problems at home?
She said how her mom didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like where she was at.
Did she talk at all about her relationship with her parents?
Kind of. She just said they were mean or whatever. She didn't like them.
And then you guys broke up, and the next thing you know, you find out that she's involved with this internet sensation, David.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen, like, at all, because, like, she was always, like, so happy and stuff.
What is your last memory that you have of Celeste?
We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away, and she said it was because of her parents, and she was, like, joking about it, and she was, like, happy, like, joking like she always was, and, like, it didn't seem real, because, like, she was, like, playing around, joking about it, and the next day she wasn't at school, and, like, that's the last time I saw her.
Did it break your heart that you were not going to be with her, or did you feel upset about losing the relationship?
Not really. It was kind of clear that we're, like, better as friends, but it was kind of sad that I wasn't able to, like, say goodbye, but, like, see how she was doing, like, when she ran away.
What was your reaction when you saw the breaking news that they had found your ex-girlfriend's body in the trunk of his car?
My heart dropped. I was like, I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, I mean, I kind of had a feeling when I saw, like, the first thing. I was like, what if it is her? But I just, like, brushed it off. But when I saw it really was her, I was like, damn, I really knew.
So let me just make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You had seen the news out of Los Angeles that a body was found in his car.
Yeah.
And you immediately had a sinister thought about Celeste?
Yeah, because one of my friends told me.
Were you at home with your mom when they identified Celeste and you saw it all over the news? Can you remember that moment for us?
Yeah, I was on the way to school, and then, like, she just, like, showed me, and, like, I took a picture of it and I sent it to one of my friends, and he's like, yeah, I saw it too, it's crazy. And I just couldn't believe it.
So this has been the talk of the school?
Yeah.
Just the fact it was someone that my son was so close to at one time, and how everything happened, it's kind of scary. It's really close to home. And if it could happen to her, it could happen to anyone. And everyone just needs to be very careful on social media.
What about you? What do you think about at night when this kind of flashes through your mind?
I just think, like, if someone actually, like, did something, like when she said she was going to run away, because I feel like no one cared.
Meanwhile, the investigation has turned up even stranger twists. If this case doesn't have enough twists, they keep coming. A Reddit user who identified as a neighbor near David's Hollywood Hills home posted that they found a Tesla keycard lying in a gutter weeks after Celeste's body was discovered. They admitted to picking it up with bare hands before realizing it might be evidence, and then eventually turning it over to LAPD. Photos of the card's location and the property itself circulated online, sparking criticism from some users about whether potential fingerprints had been compromised. The neighbor later confirmed surrendering the card to authorities and said police reassured them that their actions wouldn't obstruct the investigation. However, the LAPD has not issued a formal statement about the card or its significance, if it has any significance at all. But it certainly is compelling. And as if the situation weren't volatile enough, David Burke's family home in Hempstead, Texas, has become a target. So police body cam footage from September 18th, just 10 days after Celeste's remains were found, shows officers swarming the Burke residence with guns drawn after a 911 caller falsely claimed gunfire and a dead person on the property. So David's parents answered the door, clearly stunned. His mother can be heard telling officers there are 4 people living in the house, including her daughter and son upstairs. David's father repeats that someone must be messing with them.
We got you covered. Come right here. There's too many windows. Here, knock on the door. We got a phone call from here saying that somebody was dead. What? Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address? No. That's it.
That's it. That's what actually got.
We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman scream.
What?
I'm serious. That's why we came up here like this, because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead.
No, sir. No, sir.
Knock on the door. We need to talk to him. We ain't got time for this.
Ma'am, we got to figure out what's going on so we can leave, okay?
Very advised. We made contact. They said nothing happened here. She shut the door. Now she's calling 911.
That's clear. We haven't received a call.
I believe she's going to be in the process.
Go ahead, give him a call if you want to verify it. Okay.
All right, she's calling you now. There's more that went on.
Can you repeat, sir? Broken traffic.
Huh? That's not normal activity. If you were at the wrong address, they'd be concerned about somebody else. Like really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be trying to help.
Tinder 42, sir?
Sorry to bother you, but somebody called and said there was something. I mean, there was a person that they called on themselves. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, there's somebody dead.
Someone's dead. Yeah.
That's why we had to take caution. You know what I mean? Wasn't trying to scare y'all. Just this house is way off the roadway. So
you just opened the gate and came in?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it back. I have a gate just like it.
I can get put it in my country.
Yeah, when it's something like this, when they say somebody's dead, their life matters more than, you know what I mean?
Right here.
I didn't damage your gate, I just opened it. Ah, it ain't on their phone.
And that's not it. This is not a Texas.
Yeah, it's an out-of-state number.
Someone's messing with us.
Officers searched the property, reassured the parents, and left less than 20 minutes later with no incident report filed. It was a classic swatting prank, a dangerous, dangerous hoax layered on top of an already grim case. It's startling that that even happened at that time. And David himself has gone completely silent. Sources say his friends believe Celeste was 19, not 14, and he has canceled his tour, putting the release of his deluxe album Wither on hold. He hasn't been seen publicly since the tour ended and has moved out of the Hollywood Hills home where detectives executed a search warrant earlier this month. His absence only fuels speculation about what he knew and when he knew it and what role, if any, he played in Celeste's death, because let me be clear, he has not been arrested or charged with anything at this time. We also have another voice entering the public conversation around Celeste, and that is of David's manager, Josh Marshall. Marshall, who runs the talent firm Mogul Vision and manages several artists, has publicly denied knowing anything about Celeste's disappearance. After Celeste's remains were discovered inside David's Tesla, Marshall commented under a TikTok video about the case, writing that he had, quote, zero knowledge of anything. Zero knowledge of anything. What a great thing to say. He later confirmed to LA Magazine the comment was indeed his, confirming that he is the one that said that, and that would be his only statement for now. Los Angeles Magazine contributor Lauren Conlin told News Nation's Ashley Banfield that Marshall, quote, possibly consulted with a lawyer, you think, which could be why his statement carefully avoided mentioning Celeste by name, and he simply stuck to denial. Simple, classic denial. I know nothing. Zero. Marshall also denied ever receiving an email, though, from Celeste's family or from adults in her life, alerting him to the situation back in 2024. This email that people say he received, he says, no, he never received this email. And that email, though, that was sent shortly before Celeste reportedly returned home one last time, has become a point of speculation online. So Marshall, though, is adamant, saying he never received any email, and then has now written a full statement, which is both striking for its formality as well as a very personal tone, both. If you can have both formal and personal, that is the statement now from Marshall. I'll read it here. He writes, quote, this video is false and the person is misinformed. This is the only time I'll speak on this matter for now, in caps for now. Maybe there'll be something later. I'll continue. This has been a tough time for my family as I am the father of 3 children. I received no emails and I am no one's roommate. I live full-time at home with my wife and kids. My daughter is 14, and this news is affecting so many lives. I never received any emails. I had zero knowledge of anything, and I don't live in California. Also, I work remotely 95% of the time, and my job doesn't require me to have much interaction with any of my clients or David, as there are many others that work with him on a day-to-day capacity, but not me. This news is tragic for so many and for her family. I hope the proper authorities get to the bottom of it soon. Let me remind people, a lot of this is speculation and alleged. In the meantime, I am with my family helping them emotionally get through the news of this tragedy. Please report on factual information, end quote. So, at least on paper, Marshall is distancing himself from both Celeste and David Burke's daily operations, adamant that he works remotely, doesn't see David, and has nothing to do with this. No roommates, no California. He's with his family. No email. So whether investigators find emails, texts, or other communications to the contrary remains to be seen, but his public denial is the first time anyone from David's inner circle has actually spoken directly about the teenager's death. The new video footage in Marshall's denial have thrown gasoline on the speculation fire. Dozens of comments online are now suggesting that Celeste's own family may have known she was with David. It makes me wonder, and may even have been benefiting in some way. A common refrain on social media reads, quote, her parents knew she was with David and didn't seem to care until she ended up dead. The theory goes, if Celeste's parents knew she was spending time with David, perhaps they thought he could provide for her in ways they couldn't. Or maybe they believed she'd run away anyway if they forbade it. I've heard that from parents before. If they forbade her to go with David, then they'd never see her again. So they indirectly allowed it. Some go further, speculating about financial support, maybe coming from David to the family. Others suggest the missing narrative was maintained to avoid truancy charges or accusations of contributing to her not going to school or showing up late. You know, she was missing when it came to school. And if Celeste wasn't attending school, the fact that she's missing helps. Add to that, her ex-boyfriend Damien's claims that Celeste wasn't treated well at home, and you have the perfect storm of rumor and suspicion. None of this is proven, but it's shaping how people view the case and the family's role in it. Amid this swirl of theories, the LAPD has stepped forward with a new official statement. The department's robbery homicide division, which is handling the case, said, and I'll read the full statement here, quote, the Los Angeles Police Department's robbery homicide division, RHD, has been diligently investigating the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez over the past several weeks. At this time, we can confirm that Celeste Rivas Hernandez is deceased. Her body found in the front trunk area of a Tesla belonging to David Burke. The vehicle had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks. So Ms. Rivas Hernandez may have been deceased for several weeks before the discovery of her body. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined the cause or manner of Ms. Rivas Hernandez's death. As such, it remains unclear whether there are any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. RHD is thoroughly examining every aspect of this case to uncover the truth and seek justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez and her family. We appreciate the public's patience and understanding as we continue this investigation. Further updates will be provided as appropriate, but at this time, we are unable to answer additional questions. End quote. Very interesting statement. Very little, but a lot of interesting undertones, including the fact that they might not even know if there will be any charges beyond concealment of her body. Interesting. The statement also underscores how little is officially confirmed right now. Like very little is confirmed, which is, I think, why there is so much speculation online and why people are leaving tips and, you know, showing footage, Nest Cam footage, showing that Celeste wasn't missing. We are learning all of these clues online because so little is officially confirmed. So where does that leave us? We have a death certificate confirming Celeste wasn't pregnant. We have a cause and manner of death still deferred. We have a timeline turned upside down by new video evidence. We have a former boyfriend describing a troubled home life, a possible secret relationship with a much older man. We have a Tesla key card found weeks after the fact that may or may not hold any weight. We have a swatting incident with parents. That one just blows my mind. And each piece raises more questions than it answers. So it is easy to get lost in the speculation. I certainly have at times. The Reddit threads, the TMZ clips, the finger pointing. But let's just all regroup now for a second and remember that at the center of this story is a young girl who did not get a chance to grow up, did not get a chance to go to prom, wear a veil, to wear a cap and gown. Celeste's life, brief, seemingly troubled, has now become a public mystery that many of us are now discussing and trying to unravel. And as investigators wait for toxicology results and continue piecing together her final months, and yes, we know according to that police statement, she was only 14. Many of you always mention that while Originally, everybody states that she was 15 years old because she would have been 15 when her remains were found. We understand she died. She lost her life when she was only 14. She didn't celebrate her 15th birthday. And we are piecing together her final months. The public left to grapple with what feels like a case slipping further into darkness. I think we're all worried about that. I mean, and maybe I'm projecting here. I'm certainly worried about this case slipping further into darkness because this is a little girl. And I don't want to forget Celeste because police are keeping silent and those that are in David's circle remain silent and her family remains silent. We can't let Celeste slip through the cracks. And I think we're all feeling that. And that's why we're all talking about that. And so for now, all we can do is keep following the facts as they're laid out online, following statements, listening to authorities, speculating on the evidence that we see online. But Celeste's story isn't just about shocking headlines. It's not just a celebrity scandal. This is about a teenager whose safety net failed, who slipped through the cracks and has wound up alone in a trunk where her body was allegedly, according to police, placed for several weeks. Nobody knowing where she was or worried about her. I don't know. And it's about a community now wondering how a girl could both be missing and right in front of them. Again, in the front trunk of a Tesla. So Hidden True Crime is going to continue bringing you updates as soon as new information breaks, whether it's toxicology results, statements from law enforcement, or legal moves involving David and his circle, because this case clearly is far from over. And we're going to continue following it because we need to make sure that Celeste is not forgotten. She deserves a voice, she deserves justice, and she deserves for all of us to know just what